everyone, Beatles832, let me adjust my camera slightly. And I am back, and it's time to induct another jerk into the Kickstarter Hall of Fame. It's my weekly or bi-weekly video where I tell the world about some scammer or otherwise other jerk on Kickstarter. I've added one name to the list, and I've still got a few left. I'll pick one. Let's go with this one, and I think this is the one I just added. So I didn't buy it, and I did not bring my knife. It is the one I just added. There you go. Perfect timing. Because this just happened, well, at the time this video goes up, it would have happened a few weeks ago, but today's jerk of the week is Dann Kriss, aka DKG, or Dann Kriss Games. DKG is his company name. Dann Kriss is known for two projects on Kickstarter. One of them is called the Bicycle Cthulhu Great Old One, and the other one was the Cthulhu Great Old One game, and there was also a bicycle deck in that one as well. I want to state first of all that this induction is not about a thief or a scammer as of yet. It's not someone who robbed backers out of a or screwed the backers out of a product by not producing or fulfilling a product. He just kind of screwed himself over with this whole project is what happened. So first of all, the Bicycle Cthulhu Great Old One had $57,000. That's a lot of money on a $12,000 goal. Funded just over a year ago, November 2013. The other one was the Cthulhu Great Old One game, and also a deck of cards. It was also a bicycle deck. It got $26,900 out of an $18,000 goal. We're talking $84,000 overall for these two projects. You had one other one that was prior to that, I think, that was not successful, and he canceled it. One of the big problems with this project, and he just posted a lengthy update and today, which is early December, talking about this, a bunch of stuff. He's had a bunch of issues. First of all, let me tell you about this project. There was not one, not two, but three different decks of bicycle playing cards to be produced. Some of them were add-ons or stretch goals, I should say. He also had 6 different sets of dice, not one like most others do, or even 2. 6, and some of them were just a DKG branding for his company. He had wristbands, pins, cufflinks. Who the hell is going to buy cufflinks? A tarot deck for a game, coins, t-shirts, a glass beer mug, uncut sheets, art prints, poker chips, the big poker chip sets, and I believe stickers, and just all sorts of stuff. The other campaign was going to be for a game based on the same stuff. There was going to be 2 game decks. One of them was limited edition, plus another bicycle deck of cards that was different than the other 3. In my opinion, it had way too many items and not enough funding. He has also gone on the record and saying that, along with apologizing and everything, saying that basically he severely, I'm going to say severely, underestimated shipping expenses. He also did not properly estimate production costs. He had, for the project as well, if he didn't have enough going on, he had stretch goals for a paperclip, a 4th deck that was different than the one in the other project, a calendar, and another card game deck, which ended up going into the 2nd project. The last update he posted was, well, today, December 4th. It was only available to backers, so I was not able to read it. However, somebody was kind enough to post it on the forum, so I did read it. like I said, it was a long update, basically saying that he underestimated shipping and expenses on production. He basically said that he is flat broke out of money, both personally and his business. He's got nothing in there except empty coffers. He ran a deficit on his first project, which means he basically had no money for the second project. And of course that ultimately affected production on the second project. I checked out his website, just as a note, his website. He does have a website, Earl, but it links to his Kickstarter page. He never, I guess, never had the money to actually make a website. As per what he said, he is not running off with people's money, and I believe that, because quite frankly, he has no money. And he is, I will say to his credit, at the moment, determined to completely fulfill the projects, determined to ship out what he can as he makes some money somehow, but that it's going to take a long time, who knows how long. He did try to get loans, several of them. They were all denied. Big stop there. He's apparently hoping to get a loan next year from somebody else. He's also got some investors interested in investing in his company. God knows why. But he won't find out about that stuff until at least February or March, perhaps later. And that means it could be several more months before he has any funding to ship out the rest of the products. He has offered to let backers pay up some money via PayPal for shipping expenses if they want to get their product. I know in the game project, the second one, a lot of people seem to be willing to put up some money so that they can get their items. On the playing card project, not so much. They're basically like, screw this, we already paid for shipping, we're not going to pay more. And that is completely understandable. It's not the backer's fault that the creator underestimated stuff and that he ran out of money, and that he didn't discover until partway through the shipping process that he wasn't going to have enough money. I mean, that's just poor planning. And but basically on the playing card project, the first one, not a whole lot of happy campers, not a whole lot of people willing or wanting to fork up more money to pay for shipping that they already paid for, basically. And like I said, that's completely understandable. On the other project, though, they seem a little bit more willing to pay and wanting to pay. However, at the same time, I've heard and seen comments of backers saying that they contacted him and haven't gotten a response. And I know before, in the previous update he posted in October, which we'll get to, I guess, he said that he was asking people not to send him messages because he was very busy with shipping out products. But that's not the case for now, because he's not shipping out anything, or not very much. Just bear with me a second here. He did post another update, like I said before this one, on Halloween, and basically said that he's had a lot more work to put in than he had expected, I guess, for shipping, and that he was definitely going to be using a fulfillment next time. But he also said he had a whole bunch of problems, and this is on Halloween. He posted an update saying that they've been shipping out for weeks, but they've had delays. They had to rebuild their list of orders twice, deal with all sorts of internet problems thanks to the satellite service, bank issues, which doesn't sound good. It sounds like it's hinting at loan issues already, or financial issues. And you had to wait on shipping supplies, and a few other problems, whatever that means. And that was that. And you should see this picture. There's just tons of dice in multiple colors and designs. It's just ridiculous. It's way too much. And he basically goes on to say, unless there's a problem with the order, you think there might be a reason, problem with the order, don't bother us. We're too busy. But if you go to the comment section now, you'll see there's a lot of people not happy. Basically, the reason why I'm inducting this guy into the Hall of Fame, like I said, it's not because, as of yet, he has completely failed. At the moment, there is a lot of pissed off backers, a lot of people upset that they may not get what they paid for, and rightfully so. And he's actually posted a comment in the comments and he wanted to address a few things. I guess I'll just have a quick look at it. First of all, saying that he will be posting a list of the campaign's funds and where they went in the next update, whenever that's going to be. But that he's busy responding to messages right now to try to get people the rewards. He said that the Kickstarter was not used to fund another failing project. It was launched in hopes that profits, of which there were none, would help offset art costs for the relaunch, rather than just keeping the profit. So there's another problem. He's going to use any profits from this first project to pay the costs of the artwork for the second project, when he didn't even make any money in the first project. And he, just ridiculous. How can you take money from one project to pay for another one without even knowing if you're going to have any money in that first project? That's just ridiculous. He said that everyone will be receiving rewards, whether they opt to send a PayPal recipient or not, but he just doesn't know how long that's going to be. And that he will continue to sip out of his own pocket once they have some money in them, in his pockets. He doesn't have a 9-to-5 job because he's disabled and receives no help from the government. So that's not a good sign. The guy doesn't have any money, he doesn't work, doesn't have any government compensation. So where does he get his money from? That's a big question mark for me. And that does not bode well for backers, in my honest opinion. And begs the question why he's even doing a project on Kickstarter if he's disabled and can't work. And if you can't do a project on Kickstarter, it means you can work and maybe you should get a job. But whatever. That's something else. He says that you do have the right to send complaints to him, about him, to the Attorney General or whoever you like. But he says he wants to point out that he did not receive a dime from these campaigns personally, and has put himself in significant debt just trying to run them. And he's asking people to have a heart and give him a chance to make things right before dragging him into unnecessary legal issues, which will only result in more complications in getting the project fulfilled. And that threats and accusations only serve to make a broken man who's trying his best to live up to his promises weep more at his failures. And yeah, just a lot of people, and there's of course there's some people upset, other people going, oh well, I got my stuff, and bragging about it basically, which is not a good thing. I apologize for this video being a little bit long, but lots to talk about, lots to cover. Also, I wanted to mention that according to one of my Facebookers, apparently Dan spent a lot of money traveling to several conventions to try and sell his deck, because he made a lot of money on the project. So it's like, I got all this money, I might as well use it to try and sell the deck at conventions, but that obviously didn't work. And you know what? I've heard about a lot of creators going to conventions and stuff like that. I don't think they're ever very successful. And I have to wonder whether or not they actually make any money after all the expenses. I mean, take Albino Dragon, for instance. They're naming a wind project. They went to all sorts of conventions. They made nothing, even though the project had over $100,000. But this is not about a buy and trade, and that could perhaps be another video, but probably not. But basically, what it boils down to is the creator, who had no idea what he was getting into, apparently did not bother to find out what costs were for production. Certainly not did not do a very good job, or good job at all, of estimating shipping costs or production costs in any capacity. And to top it off, apparently, according to the update, he still has products that he hasn't produced yet because he has no money. Who knows if they ever will get produced. At this rate, I'm going to say, don't hold your breath because you're going to die. Because I don't know if he's going to get the stuff out or not. I appreciate his attempt to want to get everything out, but from the sounds of it, like you said, he doesn't work, he's disabled, he doesn't get money from the government, so how's he expecting to get money to do this? And if this loan fails, which it probably will, because like I said, how's he going to repay a loan anyway? This is why all these loans were denied, because he doesn't have no money, he doesn't have a job. So of course they're not going to give him a loan. So anyways, definitely some major issues with this one. I don't know what to say. All I can say is that he is now officially in the Hall of Fame, Dann Kriss Games, DKG, because, not because he is an outright scammer, not because he was trying to scam anyone, not because he is a thief, not because he didn't produce anything, didn't deliver anything, or ran off with people's money, but just because he outright failed in his campaign to do anything right. He had way too much products, too low of a goal, didn't estimate anything properly, doesn't even have any funds to back up anything, and he's basically screwed, and so are the backers who didn't get anything. That's what I got. Stay tuned for more of these videos.